So Tom, come on out. It's been a greetings, sir. Been a lot of work and inventiveness around this this little device in the cable industry over the past really 6 to 12 months. I know you guys have put a team on it that very quickly developed some pretty cool applications. So what do you have?
That's correct. So last year, as you said, we realized that this was quite a special device. So we started working on it. Brian Roberts at NCTA, excuse me, last year. It was a year ago this week, right? So once he announced that, we had to go and build it, and finish it off and make it product worthy. And we did that by the end of last year, which was great. And what we're looking at today is actually what I have here is version 1.5 of the XFINITY TV app, which literally means we've done 5 versions since we launched it in December. Wow. And keep increasing and doing new, cool things to it.
Yeah. So what does it do?
So that's a great question. Let's run right in. So if we put it up on the screen, I've plugged it in just for AV purposes here, so you guys can see it on the screen. What we have is basically three different kinds of applications that we can do within the app. The first application is the ability to look at TV listings and actually select what you want to watch on TV listings via the app itself. So maybe we're having some AV issues and not being able to get to this.
I think we have a solution over your right shoulder.
Oh, okay,
there, so.
Perfect. So we can see this.
So the screen looks
I'll
great.
Try to hold it really slowly.
You're obviously taking advantage of the Apple on-screen system and display.
That's correct. One of the first things we realized when this app came out was, wow, this is a really cool way to use your remote control. A lot of the issues we have around the actual remote control on a set-top box is obviously it doesn't have letters on it. It's hard to search.
Right.
There's a lot of kind of kooky buttons on there that wouldn't really get you to what the content you want to be. That in a way that an app or maybe a computer would. Those navigational tools are a lot easier to get around content quickly. Yeah. So for example, I have the TV listings. I've logged in as myself. This is literally my home account. The first thing you'll notice is just a regular kind of grid. I mean, it looks kind of Apple-esque. I'm actually controlling 2 TVs, so I have a bedroom TV and a living TV in my particular house, which this app is controlling. I can scroll up and down the list. I can see what's on. We're about to switch over to 3 o'clock. So maybe I want to watch Rachel Ray, for example. I click this. It gives me a bit of information about the show. Kim Kardashian turns out to be the guest. It's a picture of Rachel, so I recognize that show. I can literally click a button, watch on TV, and now if someone's sitting in my living room at home right now, I've just switched the channel on them in Philadelphia. So that's probably freaking them out. I can also record the episode, or I can record the entire series. So that's pretty easy to figure out. So one of the great things about this particular product is it's very easy to use. You just log in, and it's just kind of intuitive. Obviously, I can select something else, maybe according to Jim. Again, I can decide if I want to watch this now, or I can kind of go ahead and say, what's on later on, maybe Friends, and I can record that episode. So what I'll do is record this on my living room, and my wife will wonder why I recorded that. So the other parts of this app which were really interesting to us, the first one was on demand. We now have, in most of our markets, 25,000 assets of content on demand, and again, that remote, it's very hard to find what you're looking for in 25,000. That's a lot of stuff, and a lot of foldering, as most of you know how the system works. So we figured, well, let's put it on the app as well as our website, which we've had out for 3 years now, and make it easy to browse that content. So for example, I'm in on demand right now, again in my local head end. I can filter this down using certain genres and attributes. So maybe I want to just do HD, I'm kind of a quality snob. Maybe I want to do a particular genre. Let's say comedy, for example, and immediately narrows down to all the options. It's based on my subscription, so it knows exactly what I do or don't subscribe to, and narrows it down to that set. Once again, I can pick something interesting, maybe Death at a Funeral, which I recommend. It's a pretty cool movie. And if I click this Watch on TV button, again, my living room will switch and start playing that particular asset on my living room in Pennsylvania. So one of the important things, kind of to your theme, is this doesn't have to be in my house, right? I can actually go around the country and control my boxes.
That's pretty wild, yeah.
The last piece of the puzzle is we call Play Now. We launched this year. We've actually just launched this on the iPhone as well, so you can now do this on the iPhone. Is the ability to actually watch content on the device itself. Okay. So again, I'm in Chicago. I'm about 1,000 miles from my house, but I can kind of stroll through here, see different content we're promoting right now.
This is your on-demand library?
Exactly. Yes. It's a little different, but it's in essence the same thing. It's on demand. It's not linear. So I can watch Shrek. I was actually loving the fact that I can watch The Social Network. It's actually thanks to Stars, it comes out first on the iPad and the phone before it comes out on demand or on linear, which is a great option. I can scroll kind of editorial content. We have a team that actually programs this content. And so maybe I'll choose Toy Story, which is one of my son's favorites right now. So it loads up, it checks my authentication, makes sure that I'm a Stars subscriber, that I'm a Comcast subscriber. It kind of doing all that behind the scenes, and then it starts loading in the video. And in a second, if the Wi-Fi is good, I should be able to start playing.
While we're loading, I mean, for non-engineers, myself included, how does an iPad talk to the Comcast video network?
That's a great question. So a lot of our group, Comcast Interactive Media, are kind of internet-based folks. We know how to, set up servers. We know how to get video onto the web. That's a fairly easy function for us. What was interesting about this particular project was we had to take basically internet code and internet information and calls and then transfer them into the cable system to then send the signal to both the billing systems and then the set-top boxes. And so this particular device, though it's an internet-enabled device, can see my set-top boxes through the cable infrastructure. So there's a kind of a pass-through there that works.
Tom, what do you know about, what have been your observations about the anthropology of this service? I mean, it's really a different way to experience video and to experience television, and I've got to believe there are some profound, implications for that maybe we don't even know about yet, for the way people will actually respond.
That's true. I mean, we've seen some things that we kind of expected to see, and then we've seen obviously some other things we didn't expect. So, I mean, the ability to take this with you and take it to, someone that isn't your house to catch up in your shows, is obviously a great advantage. The ability to no longer have to use your classic remote control to browse and navigate is obviously a great one. One of the ones we didn't see was practical jokes. So we've seen a lot of spouses play tricks on their spouse. The husband's watching the game, the wife will pull up like a Food Network show and change the channel just when they're about to score. Interesting things like that. It's very sad, yes. But we don't condone that kind of behavior, by the way. But the big thing we've really seen, we kind of expected this, but didn't quite know how big it would be, is it is another outlet, right? It is another cable
screen
box in essence.
Yeah.
So if the kids are taking it over the TV, you can take this, go to another room, watch the shows you want, maybe on the back porch or something. And so it extends the experience out a bit. And that's the biggest change we've seen.
What's down the road? What other additions or enhancements do you envision?
So the next thing we're trying to pull off is get the Play Now stuff on Android. That's our next big challenge. So we've got it already working on the iPad. We already got it working on the iPhone. We have most of these features except the live video on Android devices already. So that's our next challenge to do that. And I think you'll notice as the week goes on, Comcast will announce a few other things that are pretty cool. If you go to the Comcast booth today, you'll see this stuff working on a Samsung TV, which is a part of a collaboration we have with them. So I definitely recommend you check that out. But just keep, taking what our customers are asking for as they use the app, because we do now have over 2 million customers using this device, using this application, and they give us a lot of feedback, and then we kind of go through the features as they ask for them.
I don't know if you know how many Comcast customers have iPads. Do you have any guesstimates?
I don't know actually how many have iPads, but obviously a lot have phones, which is why the iPad is great for demos like this today. It's pretty cool to put up on a big screen, but the phone is the one. Everyone has a smartphone in their pocket these days.
Right.
And so we've been concentrating on that a lot to make sure it works on those devices.
And then what's the pricing scenario, or how is the product made available at the retail level?
Well, we don't give out iPads, but you have to bring your iPad or your phone. But the actual app itself is free. All you have to do is log in as a Comcast customer using your XFINITY credentials, and away you go.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So that's one of the reasons I think we've hit it off. We have about 9 million people using our website every month, and about 2 million people using the app. And again, they just put in their credentials and they start watching great shows, great movies. And because it's free, I think they see it as a great value add to the service.
It's kind of a brave new world, a lot of new stuff going on that's exciting that you guys are at the forefront of. And so I think you see that mobility and portability really are cornerstones of this new evolving cable experience on the video side, and obviously, as we heard earlier, on the data side with Wi-Fi. So stick with me just for a second, Tom, as we wrap up. I wanted to reiterate that the conversation surrounding the park continues via Twitter. The hash is Cable Park, and I'd invite you to be a part of that as a conversant or even a contributor. This is the inaugural day for the park. I'm really astounded by the turnout. Thank you all for coming. But the program continues with some examinations of consumer attitudes about products, further demonstrations of technology and advanced services, and kind of cool and innovative stuff that's doable over cable, as Tom showed us. So to Bernard, Kevin, Tom, John, Leo, thank you guys for being with us, and thank you for joining us at the park. Thanks so much, man. It was great.